Good morning, everyone. I'm DJ Etizen, and I will be performing as Master of Ceremony for this occasion. Today is a special and exciting day for our annual Mandalay, as we are celebrating the ceremony of 2026 annual Mandalay Roundtable Discussion Competition. I'm really pleased to say that this ceremony is proudly held with the aim to improve speaking influencing, negotiation, time taking, and analyzing multiple perspectives. First of all, I would like to thank teacher Marilyn Schuyler, the teacher supervisor of Anila Mandalay and assistant technical coordinator online, for giving us a privilege to conduct this amazing competition. Next, we would like to express gratitude to our trainers. Behind every great speaker is a dedicated teacher. I would like to thank the trainers, teacher Nitomi, teacher Suemo, teacher Dave Yukai, and teacher Yang Kai, who work tirelessly behind the scenes to prepare these students for today. Second, I would like to introduce the judges. There are three judges, teacher Marilyn Schuyler, teacher supervisor of Anila Mandalay and assistant academic coordinator online, teacher Nitomi, teacher of Anila Mandalay, and teacher Suzanne, teacher of Anila Mandalay. Now, let me read the agenda of the ceremony. Agenda number 1, opening ceremony. Agenda number 2, explaining marking rubrics by the judge, teacher Nitomi. Agenda number 3, roundtable discussion by 7 levels. And agenda number 4, closing ceremony. According to agenda number 1, let me proudly announce that the ceremony of 2026 NELC Mandalay Roundtable Discussion Competition now begins. According to agenda number 2, marking rubrics will be explained by the judge. Therefore, I'm delighted to invite Teacher Tome, teacher of NELC Mandalay, on the stage to give information on marking rubrics.
Good morning, honorable teachers and students. I'd like to introduce myself first of all. My name is Teacher Tome. I'm a young learner and third teacher. I'll be explaining some rules and criteria of the competition. There are altogether 10 criteria. The first one is they must have clear objectives. The contestants, when they discuss, they should have clear objectives. Second, balanced participation. None of the participants must dominate the group. That's why they should have take time. And third one is they must have relevant participation. Next one is time management. Each group has 15 minutes duration. Next criteria is audience interest. They need to be able to attract the audience attention. Next one is they must have clear roles. Next one, they must have clear structure, objective, explaining, discussion, and conclusion, and etc. And next point is they have to summarize. And we'll be looking at their fluency as well. The last one is admire. We're going to be choosing the best discussion group and the best speaker of this discussion. Thank you so much. So let's welcome our contestant.
Thank you, Mr. Dintone, for your clear explanation. According to agenda number 3, it's time to enjoy the roundtable discussion by our Step 1A, Step 1B, Step 1C, and Step 2C level students. First of all, I would like to invite Group 1 members, name, Mabel Nyaso, Lin Sirizo, Hyo Siri, and Bong Yasu on the stage to discuss this topic. What is the fundamental purpose of homework? Should it focus more on reinforcing knowledge or teaching time management skills? Participants, you will have 15 minutes for your discussion. The floor is yours. Good morning, honorable judges and fellow participants. I'm Linda, your facilitator. I'm very pleased to be a part of today's discussion on a critical question. What is the fundamental purpose of homework? Should it focus more on reinforcing knowledge or teaching time management skills? Here are my two thoughtful discussants, Laura, Pandora, and our note taker, Tom. Let's get a seat, guys. Before we begin, let's ask ourselves a question. What is homework? Well, homework is the work that a student is required to do at home. It can be writing sentences, essays, or reading or studying tutorials. But are you really fond of doing it? Well, I'm very fond of doing it because it can help me better at understanding a certain subject.
Đúng là bạn đang được liên bỏ ở cái cơn gạo vào người.
Nevertheless, what is the fundamental purpose of it? I like the idea that before we jump into the main discussion, I think it's important that we start with a shared understanding of what homework actually is and why we are discussing it today. Well, the fundamental purpose of homework, in my opinion, is to support and enhance students' learning by providing them with opportunities to reinforce the knowledge that they have gained in class, while also, I believe, developing important new life skills such as time management, discipline, or responsibility. To start a book 5, from my perspective, completing homework independently allows students to deepen their understanding of concepts and identify areas where they all need improvement and practice applying what they have learned all by themselves.
I will argue that it is true that students, it helps students to learn and cooperative and many things more, but also it helps to revisit the things that we don't understand in class.
Exactly. Many people believe homework is just an extra work, but in reality, it plays an important role in our learning. It helps us in many ways with its numerous abilities. But the main debate here is whether it should focus more on reinforcing knowledge or teaching time management skills. Personally, I believe the main purpose of homework is to reinforce the knowledge that we have gained in class. When we sit in a lesson, the teacher often introduces to a lot of new concepts in a short amount of time. They try to explain things clearly, but with so much information being covered, it's completely normal that you don't guys truly understand a lesson right away, right? Of course.
Yeah, homework gives us a second chance to interact with those ideas that we don't understand in class. It's not that we visit the lesson in our home page without picking up with the class. So homework is really important for me because something if I see it, I just understand it on the surface. When I work at home, it really makes me sense.
I kind of agree with that. Homework does reinforce knowledge like if we're having a right and left. It gives us a chance to practice and improve a bit more. And it also encourages us to apply what we have learned all by ourselves, much like a young man in my previous first step with himself. Yep, homework is done independently, so it can help us identify areas that need improvement. Like, whenever I do homework, there are moments where I briefly questions. Those are topics I clearly understand, and then there are questions where I can get stuck or confused and shows me exactly where I need more help. That process is actually helpful to a teacher too. Whenever they look at our homework, they can see patterns. Maybe the whole class is struggling with a certain concept or just a few need extra guidance. And also, the teacher can keep an eye on like where the students truly understand the lesson or they're just nodding along with the data. So homework becomes like a feedback loop that helps both students understand the lesson better and the teacher understand the students better. Correct, Laura?
So our main point is focusing on reinforcing knowledge in small form. Can I confirm that?
It is risky to not include management skills when talking about homework, isn't it? Well, why don't we check out on it? Well, to begin with, homework is not just about repeating what we did in class. Well, to begin with, homework isn't just about what we did in class. While reviewing lesson is certainly important, I think it's also important that homework teaches the time management skills. In many cases, students struggle not because the assignments are too difficult, but because of they haven't learned how to balance multiply, test, and work. When everything feels overwhelming, it's often not the content that's a problem, it's the lack of a system for managing time. Well, you have got a good point, Pandora, and if I think about it, homework gives us opportunity to practice those skills. When we're given different deadlines, we can't do everything at the same time. We have to make a decision like which assignments need attention first, how much should I put in each test, or should I finish this project today or should I wait till tomorrow? Like that process of organizing a schedule, setting priorities, and resisting the temptation to leave everything until the last minute is actually made for life. And guys, it might seem like a small thing, but breaking work into pieces and pacing ourselves is a skill we use well beyond school. Of course, yeah.
Yeah, another thing to consider is time management becomes more important as students get older. In middle school, the workload is small, so we can go on without planning. But in upper level, like college, university, and even in workshop, many people started to handle several responsibilities at the same time.
Well, you have a good point. You might have project, meeting, deadline that overlap. Homework that encourage us to apply. Well, homework that encourage us to plan, whether it's a long-term project, like essays that require research or assignments that When overlap, and then homework help us to we need those habits so we are not part of our later in life. Yes, homework is an invaluable art of organizing one's time. As students learn how to prioritize our tasks, plan our daily life, like arranging and running teams, and meet those pesky deadlines so the students are brilliant. And guys, did you know that people say homework keeps time management? We agree with that, but I don't think it should be the main goal. Time management is definitely useful, but it naturally develops when homework is focused on learning. If the assignments are connected time to time and if the students understand the lesson, students will eventually learn to manage their time and the process when you guys think. Yeah, improving our understanding is the foundation of education, and that's why reinforcing knowledge takes the front seat in our journey of learning. Time management skills can develop naturally as a side benefit, but it shouldn't take priority over learning. Why I recommend you, I meant to prevent a counter argument. Homework, homework isn't just about repeating what we did in class. Homework also plays a big role in helping us develop strong time management skills in our future life ahead. Yeah, so we can put time management aside like it's nothing compared to reinforcing knowledge.
Yeah, in that case, why don't we all agree it is both beneficial for students to learn as these two are major primary purpose of
Yeah, Tom, reinforcing knowledge build a steady academic foundation, much like a well-constructed house. On the other hand, skills like time management is like what a key to like a good evening stroll in the garden. Careful on this. The primary purpose of homework is to reinforce the lessons that we learn in class and provide students with the ability and opportunity to apply their knowledge. It also serves as a tool for teachers to assess the students' understanding and identify areas that need improvement. Yes, that's true. In my opinion, the most compelling reason why homework to focus on reinforcing knowledge is that building a strong academic foundation in future intellectual intelligence. We can put time management and home time management aside. Home time management like gives a habit of well developed goals in our future life ahead. completely agree, and I would say that this is especially important for careers like strong analytical and problem solving skills like engineers, scientists, doctors, and medical professionals. Of course, without a solid grasp of concepts, it's much harder to succeed in advanced cover and professional fields where research language and critical thinking are essential.
So the other one, reporting knowledge is through homework is reporting knowledge through homework is really good for you. That not only academically but it will also help you professional life, your daily life, almost everything.
So overall, I would strongly believe that prioritizing the reinforcement of knowledge ensures that students are well prepared for future academic and medical and professional success. So Laura, you pretty much convinced me that reinforcement knowledge is the main purpose of homework. Yes, and I think I did because you guys will be well of it, right? Yeah, at the same time, homework can develop natural time management skills, teaching us how to plan, prioritize, and complete tasks efficiently. Therefore, I strongly believe homework, when it's balanced and its objectives, become essential tool that supports both our personal growth, personal time management skills, and academic growth.
So to summarize, those elements find balance. Students, not only students but also adult people in workplace and almost everything can go on with a easy flow. So homework, not only homework but also reinforcing time is managing time well is good for you and it will help not only you but also other people around you.
So, for the finalization, our group personally thinks reinforcing knowledge takes the front seat in our journey of learning since it has stronger points such as smartly power problem solving, enhanced concentration, and increasing our memory power. Therefore, by completing our homework, we can develop some benefits like management skills. That's the end of our discussion. Thank you, Mabel and Rob and Mantra, for your thought-provoking part today. You have given us a lot to think about regarding homework. Next, we are now ready to begin another discussion by Group 2. The topic for this session is what effective strategies can educators and learners use to improve English skills across listening, speaking, reading, and writing? Therefore, I would like to invite our participants to the table, Tansen Chanyi, Kanzura, Inya Tujo, and Ning Lee. Please take your seats. Participants, you will have 15 minutes for your discussion. You may begin your opening statement now. The floor is yours. Good morning, honorable judges and my fellow participants. We are Group 2. My name is Chani and I'll be playing a role as facilitator. And I'm Suki and I'm the teacher. I'm Stellar and I'm one of the group members.
I'm Kendra and I will be a moderator for this roundtable discussion. Let's begin.
Our topic is what effective strategies can educators and learners use across reading, listening, speaking, and writing. Let us begin. Hey guys, I'm really struggling in my test lately. Can you help me with my test?
Which part are you struggling with? Writing, speaking, listening, or speaking?
Well, I'm really good at writing, but I can seem to improve other skills like reading, listening, and speaking.
So, like, do you mean like you have like good at illustrating like skill, like especially you master a few skills, or whether you just lost your confidence for another skill, or just okay?
Well, I can't really speak in English that well, so I'm really shy in speaking in English, so I don't have any confidence in myself, and I want ways to improve that. In reading as well, I don't have any strategies, and uh, it's been really troubling me lately.
For me, I would suggest you to like, what about like you boost your confidence before you master your skills?
Well, I use plenty of apps on what social media like advertise, but I think it doesn't improve much.
Instead of like using those apps, like for my suggestions, like 50-50 for like each of everyone. Like for me, like if like I use an app, like I feel like it's not very efficient for me and very targeted to the point of view or the point that I want. So like I try to speak with a native speaker, the person who could fluently speak English, like they could like improve their English more than like the things. Like all of them like try to learn like how they study, how they like try to speak, like their accents. Like I didn't need to copy their accents, but if you copy one of like their accents later, as soon as later you will forget it. So like try to speak with your own accents and just speak it.
For reading, I think you should read more books and also before reading, you should get the text first and try to understand the structure and stuff. And then also we three times at least. First for the focus and next for the sound and for third is for the vocabulary. Yeah, I've been really struggling with vocabulary lately as well. I don't understand any meanings and I've been using a dictionary, but it's just wasting my time. Well, while reading, we might see advanced grammar or vocabulary. Well, before checking the dictionary, I think you should try to understand it on yourself first. Like, try to translate it in your own way. I think that will help your critical thinking as well. Yeah, that's a valid point. Like, I feel the same with you too. So I think to improve listening skills, at first we have to listen to other like person speaking. For speaking skills, I think we have to listen first, and for the more that we listen, the more that we can talk, so we can communicate in a very important way, and we can even use it in a useful, and we can even like improve our skills. And I think while reading, I don't think you should only read English books, and I think you should read other kinds of books, like as with Burmese. Also, of course, we should read Burmese books, right? Yeah, that's the main part. Yeah, for the Burmese book, I've read like about the name called Mega Gladika. So about that book, it can even improve our skills like reading, listening, and like communication skills. For those, while we read, we can know how to connect with other strangers and with our friends in like good way. We know how to talk in a polite way, and we can even read, and we can even improve our reading skills, and we can get knowledge from those. Is there any strategies I can use in test? I read the whole passage, but I really get no much in reading. Well, there are two types of reading. Well, intense reading is like when you are reading a short text, like from your school textbook, and it's just for language or studies. And intensive language reading is for fun. It's like improving your fluency and other knowledge for yourself. So yeah, I think you should master all of that in order to improve your reading skills.
For you, like I have a golden tips and tricks like that my sister told me. Like my reading books have been lately like increased like when I was in my class and later she told me that golden tips and tricks about skin and scan. Like what is skin like? Or about like instead of reading the whole paragraph for multiple times without understanding, or about like just like read the question fast and later find the information in the paragraph and later try to understand about it. If you didn't understand a word that you like didn't mean in that paragraph, they actually give a hint for you. So if you can find a hint, you can answer very well. Like scanning, like as you said, like you scan the whole passage for a multiple times. Well, that is like kind of easy for like lower level or a higher level. Instead of scanning, you should scan it like spin it quickly, like just read it the whole paragraph for one time and just find the answer for a short note. Sometimes so you will get to the point very easily.
Oh, I agree with you. That's such a good idea. Why didn't I think of that? But I still need to improve my listening though. So for the listening, I told, listening is very important. Like if we didn't understand the words that other people tell, like we cannot understand. So before we listen, we have to study or we have to like talk with the others. If it's wrong or not, like some change. Like as like our school song, like don't worry, just speak. As like that, we don't need to scare to talk. So we can even change from our mistakes that we got. So I think that's the main point. Well, lately I try to watch more English movies and I repeat after what they said. So will that help me improve my speaking?
For the that watching cartoons or movie is kind of weird like when we say the other but it's like very efficient and most like how to say most important for our skill like repeating them of course like they got a very perfect essence because they have been like thought like behind that most of the people probably are perfect English or whether it's an AI or something their grammar their like speaking way their essence is way to be perfect if you follow with them, you can like improve like step by step. Instead of like trying to get a whole bucket of water, you can just like get a drop of water every day, and later one day you will get a full of the bucket. So you will be filled with your like skill, and no one can master the like the four skill. But whether you have like master three or two skill, you can use it in a daily. So try to appreciate the skill you have instead of walking.
Melody, what about writing? Like I read a lot, but I don't know how to use them in writing. So can you help me? Oh, so we'll try to read more and more. Like, if you don't understand, you can level up your reading each time by adding like 5% to 8% new words, and then try to write journals. Ever since I was little, I try to write journals and emails like as much as I can because I was bored. And so as I grow older, I knew more writing strategies and grammar patterns and vocabulary to use at the right time. It's really improving my English. And also you can write short paragraphs, like it's small but it's effective. Like also you can write around grammar and essays, and you can write around like vocabularies and essays, and you can just scan what you need, and you can find errors, and you know what you need next time. And also, I use AI to check my essays, so they tell me how to improve my English and how to improve my writing, and they suggest me to use different vocabularies for each situation. And me too, like I'm also like struggling with writing because like nowadays some of the students or some of the teenagers is scared of like studying grammars or learning grammars. Like me too, like I feel like I'm very scared to run grammar and like I never write writing and like I can't even submit writing on a right time. So like I think that's the main point because nowadays they are scared of grammar so they never write writing in a like good way and they just copy from AI and they just copy from their elder brother or their elder sister. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah, well, I think we should use less AI to copy, but we should use AI in a more effective way. Like I said earlier, we should use AI to suggest what we need in our writing. And in other skills as well, they give me hints, they give me suggestions on how to improve in four skills. So I watch a lot of English movies lately.
Do you guys have like any tips for listening? Like I'm really big at listening. Like I have been like trying a lot of stuff. Like I listen carefully, but the point is that I didn't get the main point of the answer. Like especially like listening fit. Like I try to get to the point that the one that is they say I can like couldn't reach out.
I think in my point of view, like listening is kind of like it's hard because we are not foreigners, so like it can be hard for us. So for listening, we can even listen step by step and like study multiplier. For us, we can be in KT or PT, so we couldn't even listen to at these levels. We can even listen like step by step and listen carefully, and we can take notes or like we can get the effect from that. So we can even get a correct answer for the listening. And I totally agree with you. And before the listening part, I think we should read the questions first. And we should read the questions carefully and think what the answer they want, what kind of questions answer they want. So yeah. I also have the effective strategy I use in all my listening tests is reading the questions and guessing the answers. And when you listen, you will be familiar with the answers and just read the question first so you're familiar with it and you know what to answer and what to look out for.
Like we have like English is a major language in the world, and we have like four skills. It's like the four skill is based on a word name and nickname, prince of the whole English, a grammar. How do you guys think of a grammar? Like, is that really a prince of the like English? Is it really important?
Well, it's definitely important because, well, if you don't use correct grammar, then how will someone understand what you say? Like, imagine you use present tense for something that has happened in the past or past tense for something that's happening now. Grammar helps us to understand more about the sentence and what is happening. So I think grammar is quite important.
Do we really have to master everything for a grammar to speak to someone or speaking as well? Do we really need a high grammar skill to talk to someone?
I mean, not very high grammar skills, but you need to know the basics, of course. Because, well, I have friends that are really skilled in English as well, and they use really wrong grammar, and sometimes I mistake them for saying another thing, like as I said earlier, using past tense for present.
Oh yeah, like speaking, like yeah, grammar is also based on the speaking. Like when we speaking with our like broken, like when we like we're broken English, it's very like how to say, it's a bit shameful. But like if we like speak a broken language more and more, later we will master like good sentence structure.
Shall we start the initial part? Of course. So, no one is perfect at both skills, but I think we should try to improve that at least, right? So, listening, I think we should watch some movies and cartoons and watch videos from YouTube. And you should speak more fluently and so often, so it will improve your speaking skills and yeah. So and for resting, I think you should read more and try to repeat after them. I don't need to copy the whole paragraph or everything, but I think you should take the grammar patterns of your usage and their sounds to write on. And for reading, I think you should um, read more books as well as not only novels also articles, newspapers, any kind of book. And I think reading will improve your critical skills as well. Like before reading, I think you should scan the text first and then stop for a while after a sentence and try to think what will happen next. I think it will improve your critical thinking. So yeah.
I see.
It was wonderful to see such a respectful exchange of ideas. Thank you, Justin, Tammy, and members for demonstrating collaborative discussion. Now, moving right along, it's time for Gurri to take the stage. Let's give a warm welcome to our next set of speakers, Ami Mode, Asia Zenyo, Andrea Monizo, and Bogi Tusin. They will be discussing the strategies to enhance student engagement in online classes compared to traditional classrooms. We are looking forward to some great insights and lively interaction. Whenever you're ready, you may start the conversation. Good luck.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Andrew, the facilitator, and definitely our note taker and Elisa Pinky will be our two discussants. Technology is getting better and better in these days. That same technology also affects on teaching and learning. We can define that word as online learning. Online learning is popular since 2019 COVID-19 pandemic, and people are still using this technique the whole world globally. This discussion will be about some types of online learning and how to enhance it. To start off, pillar one, Alisa, how everyone can learn online learning every time, anywhere.
Let me start. In my opinion, I think that online learning is way more better because we might have some personal emergencies, such as going to the hospital or you have to go somewhere because of your parents' disability. So, yeah, if you're joining online classes, you have to take like week for those personal cases, and you will miss a lot of lessons, especially if you're literally near the classes and you have to study alone again because you missed the class. But if you're joining online, you just have to make sure that the place that you're going has Wi-Fi or has good connection to use your data, and you have to make sure that one of your digital devices such as laptop, iPad, or phone is with you, so you can continue learning your online classes instead of missing your lessons and studies. I think it is more better than the on-site classes because we don't need to miss our lessons because of our personal cases. Yeah. I really respect your opinion, but what if we're really in a remote area and what if our connection is very bad? Well, if you're in it, I think it will be better if you use offline materials such as like copy, textbook, or I think USB might be better. But if you're really in like that problem, I think you better try on-site classes, on my opinion.
Like everything has like advantages and disadvantages on its own. Like your main point is that we need like electronic devices, a great connection.
Yes, if you don't really have it or you don't really have good connection, I think if you have some offline materials, learning it might be better.
As a value information after the framework.
I think that's exactly why traditional classes would be better. Like, I respect your opinion, but for me, traditional classes are better because like, we don't have to face the inconvenience of our devices working, no internet, and like, we will be stressing out if that happens. Yeah.
So let's move to pillar two. Like online learning, we can see like that people are afraid of camera or something. They feel nervous or anxious. Like how can we solve that problem?
I want to start off by saying it's very essential to enhance online classes to make them more engaging as it is a technology world. And in the current digital learning environment faces such significant hurdles and problems. Currently, many students find online classes to be boring compared to traditional classes, since it lacks face-to-face connection, and the human connection that naturally drives interest is missing. So leading it to be very boring and leading students to be less concentrated on the material being taught. So without the physical interaction and physical presence of an instructor or teacher, students are easily tempted by other digital distractions. Like it is common for students to browse other websites or use social media during lessons and lectures and play online games while the session is active. So, and closing their cameras and microphones during lessons. So, the teacher's role is very important in a digital space since unlike traditional classes, the teacher can ask, ask the students to focus on the lesson. But for the online classes, teachers don't really know what the students are actually doing behind their screen.
Like sometimes they are just they like boring. They thought it was boring and like playing online game. How about we use them quizzes to make students interested in learning?
I totally agree on that opinion. And to fix that problem, I think we should, I think the teachers should encourage participation for students, like using quizzes and like games, online games for students to revise the lessons that we have taught, and so that the students can be very encouraging and very fun to play the game. I agree with what you say as well. Like the teachers still have the ability to know like whether the students actually are paying attention, even if they're playing games. Because like some students they don't really care whether we're playing or not, because they're looking like in other classes. So I think that traditional classes is better than that because it's more interactive and teachers can like take care of all the students and know what they're doing.
Well, so how about the people who have anxiety or like such as who is really quiet while teaching and in the classes, they won't risk their self by putting their hands out for a lesson or like for voting your opinion. I think they won't risk their self by raising their hand, and I think online class will be better because like we have classes and we can vote anonymously in our opinion, and I think that might be better. I mean, like Andrew, if you're a quiet kid, and would you risk yourself by putting your hands out and tell opinion, or just vote for anonymously?
Actually, I want to go for anonymously. I prefer like using in online classes we can use like breakout rooms. In that breakout room, we can discuss separately with the teachers, and we won't get numbers anymore because we are just teacher and student.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So to expand that opinion, I also think that breakout rooms are very efficient for online learning because teachers can use it for checking in and for students if they're really paying attention or not. I'm such problem is like the problem there's still like a problem because students will be like having to stare at a screen for hours even if it's for like educational purposes, and the impact will show on our eyes, our like sitting postures and I really agree that because sitting still for a long hour, it will be very difficult and challenging for us, especially for teenagers, because uh, our health can be harmed and damaged by that.
And that kind of situation, how about we learn outdoor with online learning with the beautiful environment?
I think that might be better. Like, if you go to a cafe with, but you have to choose a quiet cafe, like not too crowded, and you can study more with your earphone. I think that might be better because of the environment, and like we are not in our house, and that might be more better because like the environment is cozy and like really nice to study.
Yeah, that's a good one. Like some people like think to be alone and like study by themselves. Yeah, that's a great point.
Like to encourage students to focus on online classes better, like we should try to make it like as close to a traditional classroom as we could, like replicate some things that we can do in a traditional class. For example, like doing group work with our peers, so we won't like sit us down and I totally agree with that. Since there are many advantages and disadvantages in both online learning and outside traditional classes, I think we should combine both of them to make a really perfect environment for students to study. I guess for in conclusion of our discussion, I just believe that even though like online class is convenient and we can learn whatever we want anywhere we want. A traditional class, there are some things that can compare to a traditional class, but like with enough enhancement, like we can try to make it better and let students focus better with many strategies.
Okay. Before we close, let's make a quick recap. One key word from each member. Alyssa.
I would like to say the flexibility of time and places for online classes.
Jasmine.
It will be convenient for us to like learn whatever we want.
I'm okay.
I think it is about creativity for online classes because we have to use so many interactive tools.
Okay. Right. The future of learning is digital and it will be led by many students. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you, Amin Modier and members for their enlightening discussion about online classes. You have given us a lot of food for thought. Then, I would now like to invite our final group 4 to the circle. Hong Pie-Zo, Yang Wu-Zo, Marie Xian-Zhan, and Xian Li. Your challenge today is to read the topic, Impact of Standardized Tests on Student Learning and Educational Equity. Are they a fair measure of your students' abilities? Please take your places. The floor is yours.
So, good morning, all the judges and my friends. Today, we are here to talk at a roundtable discussion. So, my name is Peter, the facilitator of the group.
My name is Denisha. I will be one of the speakers.
I'm Yamudo, also called Ben, and I'm the low figure of the group.
So, today, we're going to discuss about the impact of.
Before you continue, I would like to get something on my chest. Like, yeah, 2 weeks ago, I took a test and I studied and tried my best to prepare, but I somehow I got 99 out of 100.
That means you wait.
Yes, I failed and failed, you know.
Wow, very unfortunate. Yeah, that's kind of answered. And that's what we're going to discuss about today. The impact of standardized exams on the students. Are they fair or not?
Oh, wait, I don't even understand the topic.
Actually, it's quite simple. The standardized exam means the exams which are carefully made by the teachers. And they're standardized, they're like made carefully by the teachers, the standardized exam. And the impact means the result, how they affect on the students. Are they fair or not?
or the test is fake.
Yeah.
Well, in my opinion, I just feel fair because I don't much in all subjects.
Actually, like getting 2 marks in every subject doesn't mean that the standardized exams are fair. Since like every student gather in one exam hall and they all of them take one exam and they get different pieces. It's not really fair, in my opinion.
I agree with you because I try my best in architecture and I'm actually the leader of projects, but the only defect of me is academic. I cannot get the high marks.
Yeah, definitely. And getting a low score doesn't mean that you're not qualified enough. So I just want to ask something. So to the students who can't get a good score on standardized tests, I believe that they should just try over again and again. Like because if you for there was like one metaphor that I heard that once my dad told me. It was if you give a monkey a typewriter and then if you give him an infinite amount of time, eventually he will write every single word in the English dictionary. That's kind of crazy because it relates to our situation because that means if we study like hard enough, one day we will get a good mark or at least a pass on our standardized test. So I believe these standardized tests also encourages time management skills. It also helps us overcome our anxiety and makes us believe in ourselves more. And also because it improves ourselves, it also improves our mental mindset and the environment that we have around us. So my main point is that these standardized tests impact students in a way that affects the students themselves, their mindset, and the environment around them. So what do you guys think? Definitely, I see your point, but on the other hand, standardized exams can be helpful, but they are not fair for everyone. Agree?
Agree with you, and I agree with them.
So how about Malaysia?
Like I feel it's not important because the tests can measure our true abilities that the students have. Like the billionaires, they one day become a billionaire who scored no marks or something else. Like they're not good out in subjects or the tests only on the tests they really good other social skills and important life skills. They got like good personality, but they just cannot focus for the test. But they might be a good people.
Yeah, they're good people, but not in exams. And I believe that standardized exams are not fair because they do not consider different learning styles, abilities, or background. So I will tell by school. A monkey, an elephant, and a fish need to take an exam. It is to climb up a tree. Do you think it's really fair?
Can you go again? I don't understand.
Like a monkey, an elephant, and a fish are required to take an exam. It is to climb up a tree. Is it really fair?
That one is like ants.
I mean, it's not fair, I think. Yeah, for the elephant, its ability is its strength. It cannot climb up a tree, but it's really strong. But for the monkey, it's its ability, so it can climb up a tree easily. But for the fish, it can only swim, and what else can it do? But all of them have their own abilities. The fish can swim, the elephant is strong, and the monkey can climb up a tree easily. Oh yes, I mean I see what you guys are what's trying to say. Like you guys are like using a metaphor, but I just realized that we're viewing this whole title as in a student's point of view. How about a teacher? Because it also these standardized tests also impact teachers because based on the student score, teachers can identify students' academic capabilities on academic performances. Teachers can just adjust their teaching speed and based on the curriculum. They can also help students achieve their ideal academic performance. So that means students can achieve better in the next result because of these teachers' help. So I do believe that these stereotype tests not only impact students, they also have an effect on teachers and their teaching adjustments. Yeah, I agree with you. So how about Caroline? Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do. Because I think standardized tests are actually fair more than tests we take in class because In standardized tests, they are either test by machine or blind checkers who don't know who are the students. But in class, if the teacher has a strong relationship with the students, they can give them good scores.
Yeah.
So like in virtual tests, they're also kind of a standardized test. So for like as I mentioned, they can measure our true ability. Like one of my sisters, like my cousin, she failed the test in grade 12, one subject, but she tried herself and now she is continue her life with a great better life. Before that, because of the standardized test, she felt like very depressed, and she had to go to the hospital, like mental health, or mental health. So they can make our mind very stressful, and I think it's too bad.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you because standardized exams are really stressful for the students. But I think they are fair but also unfair in the same way. It's like on a fence. For some part of the students, they are good at studying and memorizing everything, so they will be good at education. And yeah, the exams will be fair since the exams are the same for every student. But on the other hand, it will definitely not be fair since the students who are better memorizing the lessons, it's unfair. But they are really qualified in other areas like business or law. But the only weakness is the exam. So in my opinion, I think that for some students it's fair, but on the other hand, it's unfair. So let's just stay on the fence.
Well, I would like to continue some of what Peter said. In my opinion, because like if we just reward the bad students, the smart students, they can achieve better in life because tests like IELTS, GEDs, and the SATs are like one of the most scariest test that every student has seen because of its hard questions and the future that lies ahead of them. But so what does it have to do with our standardized test? Well, they always use the same criteria and they also use the same evaluation. So it's kind of these standardized tests are kind of like a preparation to those tests. Because if you pass those tests with flying colors, you can get a lot of scholarship opportunities to prestigious universities. And that's why these standardized tests are very hard. But if we do manage to get past that wall, I believe we have a bright future ahead of us.
In our country, also grade 12 is the most important grade throughout the whole academic year. And if you got a really great score in grade 12, like all A's, you will definitely get to attend a great university such as engineering or medical. And that one grade 12 test is standardized and it really affects your future. When you try hard for only one, the rest of your life will be easy. So one standardized test can be really important for you.
Exactly, and we have to better our skills and then academic ability too.
Yeah, and one thing I would like to add is that instead of complaining that the standardized exams are not fair, we should actually find out a way how to deal with those. So if you're better memorizing the things, you should focus on studying more. If you study more, and you will get more knowledge. The more you practice, the better you get. So that you will definitely be qualified in the exam, and you will get a brighter future, I think. And also there are some methods online where we can improve our memory on like instead of like studying, we can just like explain a random topic to like one of your siblings or your friends or your parents, someone at least like when you explain to them like you're like almost like teaching them so you explain it you understand it yourself. Like so that's kind of like the method that I use on my little brother but he doesn't understand a word. So how can we like achieve better then? Because like I still can't find another way to achieve good grades. I think you should study more and you should practice more. So how about Caroline? What suggestion you would give to them?
You should pay attention in class. Like instead of talking, you should focus on what the teacher is teaching and like you can practice at home too. Like you can revise everyday lessons.
Yeah, focusing during the lesson time is also the main important thing. Not only studying, but also you should focus on the teacher so that you'll get the main concept of the lesson.
Yes, and then leisure activities are also important. You need, after doing for like studying for a long time, you need to have a break for your brain, and you can do like activities that you're interesting, um, like reading books or cooking or something like that.
Oh, so doing like one of those side hobbies like after studying.
Yeah, and then you can find your hobby, and it can help you, like, how do I say it? If we do the activities instead of studying, also we can find our own niche,
Yeah,
like
for the
cooking.
activity.
Yeah.
So to conclude everything, I would like to say that standardized exam would be fair and unfair at the same time. The standardized exam is really important for your life, and they depend whether you study or not. And only one test can decide your future, whether you would like to become a doctor, engineer, or just a businessman. So everything is depends on the standardized exam. While on the other hand, if you're not good at the exam, you can still have a higher chance to succeed in life. For example, in some business books.
Well, in my opinion, in conclusion, I would like to say that these kind of tests are just entirely useless. They help set the picture of success in the student's mind, but they aren't fair as well. Some students have, some like Peter said, like some students have, so they're very smart, they can study a lot, they can memorize well, but some students, they just don't care about education at all. So, but on the other hand, the opportunities we can have, we can further improve ourselves more, and it can also improve our mental being as well. So I believe that they are a good implement on student academic ability, but they need to be balanced like the education system.
So yeah, I would like to say is that whether the exams are fair or not, I think you should just focus on the study. Like, I know it's kind of unfair, but it's just once in your life, right? After the exam, there are a lot of things which are concerning with your life, so you still need to do some work. So whether it's fair or not, I think you should just focus on the study to get a good score.
And instead of comparing with others, like saying, wow, he can study better than me, instead of saying things like that, we should just focus on ourselves only and try to be the best that we can be.
Yeah. So what else do you want to add on that?
I think we have to balance more, like
Yeah.
standardized tests also, and then we should focus our hobbies and abilities we have.
Yeah, we need to balance the study as well as the other activities.
Caroline, what about you?
Standardized tests can always be perfect. It might have some flaws. But it depends on you too, like how you manage your time and how you study.
So that's all about our discussion and thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you to both Gabriel and members for a lively and engaging session. I would like to convey my thanks to our judges, teachers, and participants. With the help and cooperation of them, we managed to see the success of our roundtable discussion competition by our student levels. According to the International Forum, I will proudly announce that the ceremony of 2026 and the ultimately roundtable discussion competition has now successfully come to an end.